Do you ever find yourself overanalyzing a two-word text, drafting 17 backup coffee date plans, or fiercely guarding your alone time? These behaviors are often dismissed as mere anxiety or a desperate need for control. However, that constant, exhausting mental processing actually suggests a brain that has become exceptionally skilled at pattern recognition and hypervigilance. These actions are childhood survival mechanisms. They are high-level adaptations that stayed active long after the original threat passed. To understand why an adult feels like they are constantly too much, we must look back at the unpredictable environments that forced a child to engineer these defenses. When a child grows up in chaos without a safe adult to help them regulate, their body stays flooded with stress chemicals. This creates toxic stress, an internal alarm system that lacks an off switch. Harvard research shows this chemical flood physically alters the brain's growth. Specifically, regions responsible for processing emotions and making complex decisions develop differently under this pressure. The Adverse Childhood Experiences study followed 17,000 people and found that these early hardships correlate with significantly higher rates of depression, chronic pain, and addiction decades later. A child with no power learns to navigate this world through strategy. Some become peacemakers who sense an adult's mood before a word is spoken. Others learn to disappear, becoming so quiet they are essentially invisible. The brain learns to scan every room, reading the emotional temperature of faces and silences to predict a crisis before it hits. These neurological shifts mean that hypervigilance is a logical, biological defense strategy designed for a world that was actually unsafe. Eventually, the environment changes. The adult may live in a quiet house with stable relationships, yet they are still running threat detection software designed for a house on fire. This manifests as maladaptive rumination. The prefrontal cortex stays active during downtime, auditing past conversations and drafting responses to scenarios that may never happen. Research out of Yale and the University of Michigan suggests this overthinking is a byproduct of high cognitive empathy. The brain is so attuned to social nuances, but it cannot stop scanning for potential meaning in every interaction. The brain releases small amounts of dopamine during the act of problem solving. By running through an imagined argument, the brain rewards itself for the activity, creating a chemical incentive to keep the worry loop spinning. When this sensitive system encounters a loud, unpredictable world, it quickly spikes into overload. For a person who spent years scanning for danger, staying home provides the only environment where every variable, from the lighting to the noise, is completely controlled. The childhood habit of peacekeeping also follows the adult. They continue to manage everyone else's emotions as a survival reflex, often forgetting they have their own needs to attend to. Adult exhaustion is the result of a nervous system treating minor texts, mild silences, or even a calm afternoon as an immediate threat. Many survivors carry a quiet grief for the version of themselves that might have existed without this burden, the self that could have moved through the world without a tightening chest. That same history of scanning for danger often matures into an ability to spot pain in others from a mile away. Even the dark humor common in survivors acts as a rebellion, using laughter to strip power away from the memories of suffering. Because these patterns are built into the brain's physical pathways, the advice to just relax fails to account for the biological reality of a survival system that has never been told it is safe. Recovery often involves a clinical practice called cognitive defusion. This involves observing a thought loop as it happens, rather than fusing with the thought or assuming it represents an absolute truth. It requires an internal reframe. When a text message triggers a spike of panic, the goal is to observe the reaction and tell the brain, "My system is generating a concern right now." This shift acknowledges that the survival code is simply outdated. When the adult takes over the job of making decisions, the system can finally begin to update, and the child who kept you safe can finally go offline.